Heyo, it's the Holy Howler, and welcome to Angels with Scaly Wings. This is a very special video, in the sense that this is the 20th video on this channel. The 20th. So, yeah, I decided to do a special, and, the special will follow the same theme as, my most popular video, and it turned out to be the furry one, so yeah, I'm doing this now. So the head of Godly Dragon Reviews and Apologetics, Ethan Horn, sent me this game and said that I should try it out, and since it's apparently it's very popular among furries, so yeah, it goes perfectly with the theme. Woohoo! Yeah. Dude, let's just get into this. System. Detecting user profile. User profile not found. Name? Oh. Holy Howler. Okay, I can't get that far, so let's just do Howler. There we go. And, we're doing red, please. Holy Howler. I think that looks mighty fine. User profile confirmed. Before we start, please review the following information. Okay, a bunch of information I'm not gonna remember. Okay, let's just go. In the year 20XX, I don't. Well, we know it was in the 2000s. Only recently has humanity discovered a portal that leads into a different world populated with a race of intelligent talking dragons. Okay, I was one of the few to travel to this world. Wait, one of the few, so someone else has traveled before you, that's implying. But maybe I should start at the beginning. It all began when we discovered a strange device in the middle of nowhere. If you discover a strange device in the middle of nowhere, you don't pick it up, okay? During one of our expeditions, a portal, and we just went, hey, let's walk into it. Yeah. Okay, we already reviewed that part. I had heard about similar technology before, though that had been more of an experimental travel. From what I knew, other portals had been created in the past, and were under consideration for mass application. As for this one in particular, though we did not know who had built it, nor when, nor why we found it in the wilderness, where we did what was more exciting to us was the fact that it was functional. After our first test, we found there was someone else on the other side who was in possession of a similar portal, and our attempts of communication through letter were unsuccessful. But in the end, the machine's extraordinary demand for power meant we needed to act quickly, as we wouldn't be able to keep the portal open much longer. When we made this known to the other side, we received a very unexpected reply, a letter of information. After some deliberation, it was decided to accept their hospitality and send a person to the other side. Was that me? There was an individual who took the job almost immediately. Me? I'm guessing it's me. Oh, it's an anime. Great. Reza Izquierdo. I knew him, or rather had known him. We attended the same school back then, and even had a few classes together. We never really were very close friends, but we talked to each other occasionally, and hung around with the same crowd sometimes. However, we still went our separate ways in the end. I wasn't sure what to think about the whole thing, but he had to have known what he was doing. He certainly was brave. Either that, or just very, very foolish. While I wasn't sure which, his courage was applauded by others. After all, he couldn't possibly have known who or what would await him at the other end of the portal. And if he did meet someone there, who knew what kinds of intentions they might have. When the day finally came, through he went, with applause echoing across the area. Equipment only with the clothes he wore, his multi-tool, a gun, and a device on his wrist that acted as a PDA, okay. Alright. Then we waited. The crowd that was applauding him slowly dispersed when the enthusiasm died down, as there was nothing for us to do but wait and speculate. Approximately 8 hours later, we received our first message from him. While we had assumed the portal led to another in a different country, or maybe on a different continent, the reality turned out to be much more foreign. The situation he described to us was so outlandish that we initially took it as a joke. A very bad joke, maybe, with even worse timing and no punchline at all. How much do I have to keep reading? It soon became clear to us, though, that we may just have made one of the most important discoveries since the dawn of mankind. The dawn of mankind, by the way, was creation. I'm a Christian, so I believe in creation, not evolution. Finding the portal had been remarkable in itself, but this took to a completely different level. From what he described about the place, or more accurately, its inhabitants, we surmised it, I think that's how you pronounce it, surmised it could not be part of Earth at all. We called them dragons because according to Reza, that's what they were, or at least what they resembled most. Even though we found it hard to believe, it had been these dragons who sent us all the letters, and what Reza found on the other side of the portal was a whole civilization of them. They could talk, write books, had buildings, and electricity. In many ways, their society was actually very similar to our own. So who were they? And where was this place? Could they be aliens? Our speculations led to us conclude otherwise. After all, we knew about the existence of thousands of planets, millions of light years away, that may have been theoretically habitable. Yet even then, we had never found conclusive proof in regard to actual alien life forms. Some people brought up quantum mechanics and parallel universes, but in the end, all of this was just conjecture and ultimately fruitless endeavor, since we neither had the means nor the resources to explore these possibilities in greater detail. Stop giving me stuff to read! I think there's just one more thing worth mentioning before I move on. The previous isolation had been mutual. They hadn't known about any other intelligent life form beyond their own. Their portal I accidentally clicked. Their portal had only recently been discovered and was a technology previously unknown to them, and just as we had myths about dragons, they had myths about us. That was what we knew about them so far, and as interesting as learning those things and debating their cultural significance was, we didn't really know what we should make of it all. Reza apparently was sure of what he was doing, though as he eventually let us know that they had agreed on a trade. Reza, stop! Stop giving us more dialogue. Not even dialogue, this is narration. We were to give them a few of our PDA devices, which contained vast amounts of knowledge, dwarfing even that of encyclopedias. It returned, they would supply us with generators. Overall, they didn't seem as technologically advanced as we had been, but they did surpass us in that one aspect. Their means of generating energy seemed sustainable. Not only that, but evidently also quite efficient. We certainly would be able to put technology like that to good use. And trading mere past knowledge of the human race for something more tangible was a good call on his part. That was where I came in. Thank goodness, are we gonna start the game now? My prior experience with in both biology and sociology made me a good fit to deliver our PDA devices for the trade. And while in the Dragon's world, waiting for the prototypes of our generators to be manufactured by them, I would act as an ambassador on humanity's behalf. What a way to make a first impression by a display of mutual goodwill. Everyone benefits and everyone goes home happy. All is well. At least that was the plan. Despite the image that living talking dragons might conjure up in some people's minds, I didn't even think of bringing a weapon myself, considering that they were reportedly friendly and peaceful enough. There was no need for me to fear potential ill intentions like Reza did when he had stepped into unknown territory, and acting as humanity's ambassador, I had to do my best to uphold a high standard in fostering this diplomatic relationship. When the time came for me to step through the portal, all my mental When the time came for me to step through the portal, my mental preparedness vanished. My anxiousness was fueled by all the questions lurking in my head, just as the machine started to do its work. Would it hurt? Who would I meet on the other side? What if they really weren't so friendly and just made Reza write those letters with the pretense of appearing friendly, only to lure us into the den of eating monsters, and certain doom, with us ending up as nothing more than a tasty afternoon snack. Maybe I should have brought a weapon after all. Whoa! Suddenly I felt a shiver coursing throughout my whole body, and beyond... I can't take this seriously! Okay, wait, hold on. Beyond, when I... okay, and... Okay, whatever, it's just teleportation stuff. Okay. I saw darkness and light, painting patterns in the stars as I traveled. That was so funny. And images rapidly flashing before me of things unseen and unspoken. You mean like space and the galaxy? That was flashing before my eyes a lot. Both horrifying and beautiful. It was an experience unlike any other. Over in just a split second. Yeah, this wasn't an experience unlike any other. Okay, I'm sorry. That was just funny. Then it was dark. I could only see a patch of light. I could only see a patch of lighter color contrasting with its darker surroundings as my vision started to clear. Its edges got sharper as the patch of light slowly took shape, giving me the distinguished outline of a reptilian head, and an array of horns sprouting from it. Yeah, it's a dragon. Oh, we're gonna see an image. What is it? Why is it wearing a suit? It was a dragon! And it... Okay, this is too funny. It was a dragon, and as I could now see, a dragon who not only had a pair of round glasses, but also wore a burgundy tie around its neck. This is so funny. Okay, so this is Remy. If I may introduce myself, I am Remy, your guide and ambassador, a representative of our council. The dragon spoke. It was one thing to have heard and read about this, but something else entirely to have one standing in front of me, in flesh and blood, and tongue. It was good that all my mental preparedness had disappeared when I was teleported, because nothing would have prepared me for this. Sorry, I imagine you might still feel the effects of the teleportation drowsiness, or... How do you know? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. That guy. I forgot his name. Rena, I think it was. Drowsiness or weakness is not unusual, as is fainting and spontaneous emptying of our bowels, bladder, or stomach. How do you feel? Sorry, I'm just so confused. I think I'm alright. Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Maybe we'll eat you now. And we'll eat your soul, and you will die, and we will feast on your bones. Okay, no, not really. Maybe we should go before it gets too dark. Come with me, please. Okay. This is hilarious. I want to make a series out of this. So, I found the dragon, not straying too far from him, as the sun had already departed for the day, and the remaining light diminished by the minute. It's getting hard to see where I'm going. Ugh! Stop popping up in my face! Sorry about that, but we had a good reason to schedule your arrival like this. We did not want you to be ambushed by a crowd, so we had to keep your exact time on date of the arrival secret. Thanks, I suppose, and I suppose an event like this would make me a celebrity of sorts. It would be the same if one of you came to us. That is quite an understatement. Some people here are rather superstitious. They might regard you or any of our kind as divine, What? Okay. Yeah, how so? We do have certain myths that involve humans as such. Oh, I suppose the history lesson will have to wait for another time. Here we are. Yes, I hope I don't want to do any more reading. By this point, it had gotten so dark that I could barely make out the building before us. Yes, I can. Look, it is, it looks like a motel to me. I briefly wondered whether they might have street lights elsewhere, or if they just did not require any due to possible enhanced eyesight or night vision. I could vaguely see the dragon, his light colors still visible within the blackness that engulfed the area. Rear up and manipulate the door handle with one of his forepaws. Would they even be considered paws now? Because they're a bit more anthropomorphic, it looks like. Hinges creaking, the door opened, and with the flick of a switch, the apartment was flooded with light, blinding me after all the time we had just spent without it. This is where you will live for the time being. It is fully stocked, but in case you need anything else, I left you a note with a few phone numbers. Hey, do any of the phone numbers, like, from Earth so I can, like, I'm gonna call my mom, just say, hey, mom, hi, I am the human representative to a race of dragons. She's proud of me. It is getting rather late, so in any case, someone will come and meet you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Remy. Have a good night. Why is he so... He's so casual about this. How is he so casual about this? Both sides are so casual about this. I mean, he's a professional, so I understand, but... Until we meet again. With a nod, I'm gonna have to... I need to... I know that this is in, like, chapters, so I'm gonna wait till we get to the first chapter. With a nod, Remy left the apartment, mindful enough to close the door behind him. Surveying the room, I considered the events that had just transpired as my gaze met the window. I could see movement... Uh-oh. I'm gonna get mugged by dragons, okay. I could see movement outside, and I drew near, startled. I could hear footsteps in the grass, moving away quickly. Assuming it must have been the dragon I just met, I thought nothing of it as I went to bed, and slowly succumbed to the sweet allure of sleep overdue. I spent a few moments thinking about my role, my mission, and what it meant to be here now. I felt the responsibility placed on my shoulders. I was eager. Ooh, okay. I'm actually kind of curious. Okay. I'm gonna do the responsible thing. I'm sorry. Now here I was, a stranger in a strange land, as I only began to feel the weight of the burden that lay upon me, the pressure of my task, and the expectations I would have to meet in representing a species, culture, and a civilization. So many would depend on it, yet I did not even know where the only human contact I had currently was. I was alone. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to stop here, I think. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope to turn this into a series because this concept is just so funny. Sorry, Godly Dragon, if you're watching this. I just think this is hilarious. But I know you think this is cool. So anyways, make sure to scratch that red paint off that subscribe button. And remember, look beyond the shadows. I'll see y'all next time. Okay, so I'm recording this after, and it's been like 2 weeks or something since I recorded that video, and I just didn't have time to edit, so sorry about that. Hopefully it won't happen again. And also, quick shout out to Godly Dragon Games and Godly Dragon Reviews and Apologetics for getting me this game and making it possible so that I can play it for you guys. And if you're a Christian, then all the more you should check out his channel, because he does a ton of like reviews and apologetics and lectures, and they're all in a conservative Christian perspective. So if you're a conservative Christian, then all the more you should check out his channel. And even if you're not a conservative Christian, you should still check out his channel, because he's still pretty cool. Anyways guys, I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye!